A good 404 page can keep your visitor entertained even if they're looking at content that isn't what they expected or not available. And it can also help provide a visitor tools to find what it is that they're really looking for. So WordPress allows you to create a file named 404.php, and this will display anytime the user tries to access a URL that does not match a page or post or something else within WordPress. It will fall back to index.php, and actually we've seen in a lot of our code, we're writing an else statement in our loop to catch in case there is no post content. So adding a 404.php can be a helpful way to write simpler loops where we don't have to constantly say what to do. If there isn't any content, we could just display the 404 page. So let's go ahead and look at the code of how we could do this. What we're going to do here is come into our page.php and start with a file save as and save it as 404.php. Update this here. And let's just go to a simple page and see what happens if we access a URL that doesn't exist. So right now I'm going to go to 404 error because I know that that's not a page, and notice it says 404, sorry, no content found, 404.php. So where is it getting this message of 404 and sorry, no content found? If we come back to our template here, we could see that it's pulling in template parts content page. So if we come into our template parts, we could see that that is basically going to display this content here. And then if it doesn't find anything, it's going to pull in template parts content none. So what we have here is a message where it says, hey, there's a 404 in an H1 and then sorry, no content found. And notice that what we have here is there's no page for this, so it's automatically pulling in content none. And what we could do is we could simplify this whole thing because we know that there is not a page, so we could bypass the loop here, simplify things quite a bit, and just pull in templates part content none. So this will give us this 404. Maybe we can make this a little bit more informative, page not found. And although this is getting ahead of ourselves with getting into template tags, I do want to show you, you could do something like get search form, because this is going to help people possibly find what it is that they're looking for. No content found. You could display a list of pages. You could display a list of popular blog posts. I'd encourage you to think about what would be the most helpful 404 page possible. But also remember that there is some entertainment value in a well-designed or clever, don't be off-brand. So if your brand has certain limits to how silly or fun it is, then stay within those. But you could still be clever and provide maybe some delight for folks or enjoyment, even if they land on a wrong page. So something there for you. We have this simplified. And if we pop over to our site now, we could see, hey, page not found, sorry, no content found, the search form. That might help them out a little bit. But there's also this issue of all of our other templates. Like if we come back into our page.php, notice that it has this else statement. So what this is saying is if it tries to pull up a page and that doesn't exist, it's going to do template parts none. We don't really need to have this anymore. Technically, we could pull this out, and in our templates where this is happening, just run an end if, because we know that if it can't find a particular page, then it's going to default to doing that 404 page. So we don't really need that in there. That said, you still do see some themes that have a 404 page still having this else loop. And if you are going to do that, then my suggestion is at least make sure that you have this consistent include here. So maybe you still want to have this in for some reason. Maybe this 404 template might disappear, so it won't have a fallback. But make sure that this is smart, the template that you're including, and can be applied to pages or posts or help them find whatever it is that they're looking for. So this is pretty simple, 404.php. Go ahead and follow along with what we did, and then think about in your own project, what would be the best possible 404 page. So really put some thought into it. Maybe you need to spin up some extra templates to include. Maybe you need to peek ahead at some template tags, although we'll get into more of those later. But try to design an intelligent and attractive 404 page, something that works good for your theme and your site and your brand that you're working with. Okay, so once you do that, then I'm going to pick up and show you the search.php file. And what that will do is work with it will be the default template for if you fill in the search form on the 404 page. You could also control how search results look, and that could be helpful as well. So go ahead and rock it out with the 404 page, and then we'll pick up with search.php in the next lesson.